Does it look cold out here? I mean, it looks pretty cold. Because it is pretty cold. Good Lord. Oh my God, I cannot wait until this is done and over with, man. I'm already over the cold. Like it's only December. This isn't even the cold month. Wait until February hits. But this is the exciting part of this whole latest fiasco here with the ignition stuff. Hopefully, by the end of this video, the car will be running. I'm hoping, because I'm recording this video in the same day I'm doing all this work, so this video and this day, this car should be running, and that'd be so nice. Oh man, so yeah, this is actually the really fun part of the project here, because now we get to pretty much put everything together. All the monotonous wiring stuff is pretty much done. You know what? Maybe I should show you, because you haven't seen a lot of stuff that's taken place since the last video, and that was pretty much it. But remember I said I need to pretty much fix up the grounds? Well, I did, and look, I am pretty happy about this piece right here. So this is where the cool packs originally were mounted. So I ended up using some of the holes that were here, and I created this custom grounding block here that I had. Well, I mean, I had the bus bar laying around, but the problem is there's no physical connection between the top bar and the bottom plate, which is this plastic. So I'm like, what can I do? How can I, I was like, well, I can just take cables and run cables from here and to the chassis, but that was going to be more cables, more connectors to make and crimp and cut, whatever, and it just would have looked sloppy. So what I did was some of that leftover tubing I had, the copper tubing I've been making these terminals out of, see right there? I basically just cut them and crushed them and made little straps that connect the bar to the bolts that run through the chassis, and then I have everything connected on the bottom with washers, and it's all connected to the bare metal, so it should have a really solid ground on the frame rail here of the chassis. So I have all these extra grounds going to it. This ground's here, this ground right here runs down past the firewall, and it runs, like I said, to the housing of the alternator, and then it continues from there, runs all the way over here to a grounding point. Let's see here. Yeah, you can see it right here on the side of the cylinder head back here. And that's where that grounds. So that's a engine chassis ground, alternator chassis, basically the big four, right? The big four upgrade, upgrading all the grounds, everything. So tied up a lot of the harnesses and tidied up the 0 gauge positive cable coming from the battery, and it all looks nice. That's gone directly to the alternator and to the starter. So everything's got big wiring everywhere it goes. Needless to say, the charging system should be primo right now. I spent a lot of time making sure that's gonna work okay. So hopefully with the electrical system nice, everything else should work better. Grand. Now, the fun part. I finally got all the parts I need, all of them, I think, to finish up the project here. All ignition related stuff. So we're gonna do a quick unboxing here of everything. So let's go ahead and take a peek at all the parts that I have. All right, so we're gonna start over here. This is the main part of the party here, and the most expensive. Nope, I'm lying. This is not the most expensive part of all of this, believe it or not. But these are the ZZP or ZZ Performance ignition coils, and yeah, they're pretty solid. They look nice. They have gold or brass plated terminals. 47,000 volts. That's a little bit higher than factory. I think factory is 40,000, 47, 7 more thousand volts, a little more juice. This is the most expensive thing out of all of this stuff, was this right here. This is the ignition control module. These are actually pretty cool, I gotta tell you. Actually, you know what? I'm lying. This wasn't the most expensive. I am so sorry. You know why I'm thinking that? Because like 9 out of 10 places I looked for these, they were like $150 to $200. Can you believe it? This I actually got off Rock Auto. and it was this brand here, WVE. Now, I'm usually especially when it comes to components like this, especially ignition-related electronics, I am very skeptical about what brands I choose. But I did some research about WVE, and I decided that this was a good brand to go with, especially because of the cost, about $90. But come to find out, these guys here, NGK, own this brand. And I definitely know this is a good brand. So if they own this brand, this is likely a good brand too. Now moving on, we got nice AC Delco, which is this is a horrible made piece. It's got burrs and stuff all over it. Horrible piece. But new bottom plate here that goes for all this, and this just sits on there like that, and then the coils sit on top, and it's just a big party, something like that. So that's the meat and potatoes there of the ignition setup. Of course, we got new NGK V-Power spark plugs. These have always been pretty much the best option. I run these in everything. In fact, these are in the Mustang too. So these always perform the best in my experience. And then to get the power to the spark plugs, I got two more MSD, superconductor wires. And since I got that, I got these right here, DEI shields, just to protect the boots on your spark plugs, keep them safe, because things do get a little hot back there with the headers, or that exhaust manifold. And then this was some extra shielding I got for a couple different things I want to protect while I'm in there and doing everything. But yeah, this is it. This is basically the new upgraded ignition system for the Fiero. So that should make a huge difference. All right, enough of me babbling here. The only thing I have left to do is try to figure out how I'm mounting everything to the bracket I made on the tensioner arm on the car. Once I do that, because I'm not going to bore you with that, I'll update the video, and we'll start actually doing more of the fun stuff, getting all this stuff put on. And I was about to say the S word. So remember when I said I was gonna just do kind of the boring stuff, and then once we get to the more exciting stuff, I was gonna return the video. Once I do that, because I'm not gonna bore you with that. Yeah, that. Well, come to find out, that didn't happen. But I did get stuff done, so my apologies for not showing all the fun stuff on video. But check it out. Haha. Look at that. Looks like it belongs there now. All the MSD wires ran, I think, in the best way I can. I just have to get some, separators to keep everything as neat as possible. Kind of going all over the place at the moment. We got the boot protectors on, both sides, new plugs, everything. It's all done. Now, there's really only one thing left to do. Start the car. Well, hopefully start the car. I would hope it starts. Without further ado, let's see if this thing actually starts. All right, got power on, neutral, ignition. Well, that's good. That does things. Okay, and fuel. And hey, whoa! Look at that charging voltage, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, I think the gas gauge works now. That's nice. That wasn't working before. Well, I mean, not good at least. Looks like it's working now. Alright, well, hey, it's running. Hey, I want to see if it dips as bad when the fans turn on. Let's see here. It bogs a little bit, but trust me, it's better than it was. But, hey, wait a minute. What's going on here? Well, that's not supposed to do that unless I'm setting it. So what's the deal? Okay. Tachometer's not working, of course. Why wouldn't it? Moving on. Oh my God, it's definitely louder. It sounds crisper. It sounds smoother. Throttle response, definitely sharper. Of course, this is fine. Oh my God. it works at least. I'm just so upset now with this tachometer. I don't even know why. I'm gonna set the camera down and do some tinkering here and see if I can figure out what's going on. Well, after some time, like over an hour's worth of troubleshooting and tracing and looking at wires and reading diagrams, I can't get it. I can't figure out what the hell's going on. Of course, wires are spliced all along the way from where they come out of the ECU. I mean, they're all bundled together in so many different parts of the harness. I don't know what's going where. I don't even understand how the tachometer would stop working. The only wires I touched that would affect that at all were back here in the engine bay. The harness going from the coils to the rest of the harness. The thing is, I only touched this side of the harness and extended it, which is the side that's not, the wire that's supposed to feed the tach signal. It doesn't go on this side, it goes on this side here through this connector. I didn't touch that at all. And I double checked all the pins and everything, and yeah, nothing looks out of place. Nothing looks like it's not supposed to be, or supposed to be, I guess. That's gonna be a whole nother thing. So we'll add that to the list of wiring problems with this car to fix now. I tell you, man, this car is keeping me busy, but I cannot support its habits. I really cannot. It's got to slow down, man. It's really got to just stop. It's got to stop being hungry like it is. I cannot support this thing if it keeps doing this. It's like it's like you fix one thing and then something else happens. It's one of those projects, and I've had quite a few of those. Somehow I've always ended up with those kind of cars. I don't understand. Anyway, that's going to wrap it up here for this video. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, share with everyone you know. And if you want to see more content like this and you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Keep a lookout for the next true car enthusiast video.